Hey y'all, welcome back
Hey,
to We Didn't Read the Fine Print. We're your host Teddy,
and I'm Farah.
and let's get into it. You know how we started off our mom check-in, check 1 2 1 2. Hey mom, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm
Hey girl.
actually I'm good. I'm grooving.
Yes.
I'm off tonight. I'm off tomorrow night. So
Ooh.
yeah, mom check-in. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm finding that balance. You know what? I'm like actually mom check-in. This is a serious note.
Mm.
Because I went through this like probably like I'm not crying, MS lash is crazy. But probably like 2 weeks ago, I realized that I'm just not the same. Like when it comes to like work. I'll be missing my baby. And I try to tap back into it, like, all right, you gotta do this, you gotta do XYZ, blah, 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 and just, grind. It's just like I need my nights off. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like trying to find balance in my days and stuff. Like, I need my nights off because I need to be with my baby. I be missing
Mm-hmm.
my baby. If he already, don't see his other parent as much, I'm like, I feel like a little mom guilt. Like, I gotta be
Okay.
there more.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get back. I can't tap back into
Grind
that
mode.
grind. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm in it, but I'm not in it like I used to be. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I
It's
still got that
different.
balance. I need at least, not night off here, night off here. I need my 2 nights off, now, and work a few days, and I need 2 more nights off. I need to be with my
Yeah.
boo.
Yeah.
So I can say, mom, check in. I am evolving. I'm realizing that I am not that same person no more. I cannot check back into that right now while my baby's so young. So
Yes.
that's what's been going on with me, and that hit me hard. I was like, ooh, I can't do it no more. I don't want to do it no more.
Right.
Cause
Yeah.
when I find a man, you be having me want to sing sometimes, man.
Sing it, let your spirit guide
Cause I
you.
can't, I can't tap
It's
into
funny
it as
that you
hard no
mentioned
more.
some of that because that kind of goes into our topic. Before we get there,
How are you, mommy?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. Life's beautiful. Life's
I
great.
love it.
Um, I feel like I don't know. I don't really have like a catch up for you guys, but life is great. Life is beautiful. I have nothing to complain about. So cheers to that.
Cheers to a good life. Welcome to the good
Mhm.
life.
Yeah, so today's topic is all about daycares.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny that you mentioned that mom guilt and like feeling like you got to be with your baby
Yeah.
and all that because I feel like with daycare, sometimes you feel the same way.
Yeah,
Or
you
even like
do.
the root of daycare, which is you have to work.
Oh
So
gosh.
let's get into it. So first question I have is did you have to send your baby to daycare? And if you did, why?
Yes, I had to. Um, why did I have to send that daycare? Well, originally it was because I needed a break.
Okay.
I was going insane
Okay.
because he was just smaller and he was, you did the whole breastfeeding thing. So he was like just on me. That's when he was clingy. He's not as clingy now, even though he's like switching up. Like
Uh-huh.
now he want to keep getting picked up and stuff. But at the time I sent him to daycare because I needed a break. Cause first I was working part time at daycare and then I was like yeah, he can't be here with me. So it was just all of needing a break because I need to go to the gym and I need time for myself and I can't be with him
Yes, let's talk about it.
24/7. So that's why he went into daycare is literally just for me to have a break. And honestly, it's heartbreaking because I always was like I'm not putting him in daycare. I don't have to. But the only reason he's in daycare is because that
Yeah.
I'm just one parent, so I can't do
Do everything by
everything,
yourself.
and I have to have that balance of just forcing myself to be like, you need time to do this, you need to get off work,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to take a nap, and you need to get off work, and you want to go to the gym. Y'all see my little weight loss journey. I'm coming along, but you
Period.
need to make time
Cool.
for that. And if you want to be a stress free or it's most stress free you could be parent, you have to like take the time to be like, okay, let me sit back and you go to daycare. You with people who love you. Go to daycare. Let me sit back and think. Let me
Yeah.
sit back, take a nap. Let me
Mm-hmm.
get because I would get off work, go get him. He would be with me all day, all the way to bedtime. Then I would go work, and he would just be with me all the time. So it's like, when can I do anything for myself? And I couldn't. So it's just like, okay, I had to just, try. And then I don't know how. And then that's just for now. It's like a temporary thing, helping me find balance or whatever. That was literally my only real reason of putting him in
Mm-hmm.
there is just to find balance, for myself So my
That's
reason
really
was kind of
good.
different. I had to find. I'm so big on balance that
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to find balance to the point where I'm just like, I'm gonna have to put you in daycare. One of the things I never thought I would do, but it's just like I'm just one parent, so it's just like I don't want him to be in daycare. If I can just say, hey, go, with your dad for a few days during the week, then fine. And then I can have you the rest of the day and I, teach you myself. I didn't learn and grasp enough from, what I'm doing in my trainings and stuff. I'm like, I can teach him myself.
Yeah.
He's one.
Yes, it's really just all
ABC,
about
1, 2,
consistency.
3,
That's it.
colors and
Colors and
shapes.
shapes,
Okay.
body parts.
Okay. Stuff like simple stuff. So it's just
Very
like,
simple.
he don't have to
Simple.
go to daycare, and I didn't want him to get the like social, experience, but now he has play days now. So even that is just kind of like daycare kind of ran its purpose, but
Right.
it's just like, yeah, that's my main thing for balance.
Okay, I love that because it's different from me.
Mm-hmm.
I went. My son has been in daycare. He started going to daycare when he was 10 months, about 10 months, 11
I
months,
think Eli
11
too.
months.
Eli too.
11 months. He started in September. His birthday, October. So he started when he was 11 months, and I had to go back to work. Well, I had went back to work when he was like 9 months, 8 months, but my niece was watching him
Mm-hmm.
over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't need daycare.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then
Blessing.
she had it definitely a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
But then she had to go back to school, and I didn't have the type of support where like my mom's home, so it's like, oh, you can, y'all send y'all kid to daycare. I said my mom watch him. I had that kind of mom. My mom was at work. Okay,
Okay, listen, they talk about these villages that we have. It's just like,
that's another thing. But yeah, so my mom was at work. His dad was getting him, but I guess he felt like he needed time to himself too. I don't know, but so he had to go to daycare. The baby had to go to daycare, and um it was a horrible experience for me. We're gonna get into those topics. So that's why my child had to go to daycare
I love how you
because
just showed you show him some grace. I love that, Teddy.
yeah, I ain't here to
Very,
bash
very
nobody.
graceful. I
I
love
don't
that.
feel like that, but
That's the woman in
you
you.
gotta shift
We
the
love
energy
that.
sometimes. Yeah, so I didn't have no sitter. I didn't have like that stay home mom that like always watched the baby, and mama had to go to work because mama had to provide for me and the baby. So I had to go to work. So that was one of the reasons why. Well, that was the reason why I went to daycare. But I definitely was the type of parent that was like, I'm never putting my baby in daycare.
Right.
Like, I ain't putting my baby in daycare. I'm not putting my baby in daycare. But you see, like, when you actually experience stuff, things change, life happens, and it's completely different from like this
The fine print. Because
baby.
don't it start off imaginary? You want this for your kid and this for your
Everything's
kid
so
and that for your kid.
imaginary, and
It
then
don't
when
have to
real
be though. You
life
just gotta be rich first.
is like, oh, I thought I could swing it like this, but life taught me that I could not.
Yes.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? You got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, maturity.
You can't sit down and
Maturity
cry
comes
about
with
it.
it.
Yeah, you
Yep,
got to roll with
maturity
the
comes with it.
punches. Okay.
That was I love that you said that. I love that. That was good. I'm glad you put that out there.
Yes, ma'am. So have you ever had to take your baby out of daycare? Like, has he been in multiple daycares or just one? And if you did have to take him out of a daycare, why?
Well, technically, I told you he was with me. He
Okay.
honestly only been there since June. He hasn't been there so much. So
Oh, okay.
he started daycare with me. I was his first teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Probably why I'm not talking yet. Just kidding. But I was his like first teacher, whatever, for like the longest. And I had to put him in a different daycare because I need him to get away from me. So my experience was like a lot. It was a lot because it just was like it was overwhelming because I'm trying to be over here and then you screaming and then you sold at me and that's fine because he was a boob baby, so he just was clingy at the time. So for that reason, I had to be like, okay, you got to go to the other location because I literally can't. I'm had to leave altogether because I can't do it. It's overwhelming, and I get overwhelmed sometimes, and I have my little days where I'm just like,
yes,
breaking down.
It's chaotic. Everything's chaotic.
So that was my reason that I was taking him out because he just was like too, with me all the time, and I needed that balance. So I put him in the other daycare. So
okay, that makes sense.
June,
so okay, yeah, definitely a different experience because my baby went to, I don't know if I want to say the name of the daycare or not, but my baby went to a daycare first, and first of all, he was home with me for 9 months, and then he was with my family until he was like 11 months. Never been sick. The moment I put him in daycare, he started getting sick
So sick.
left to right.
So sick.
Like, it was so unbelievable because I'm like,
Mhm.
this little boy never been sick.
Yep.
But no, granted, that was expected. Everybody always
Everybody talk
prepare you.
about it,
Even the
yep.
doctors, like
Yep,
when you go to the
everybody tell
doctor's
you,
appointment,
is
they
he in
say
daycare? That's what they ask you.
kids are nasty. Kids are disgusting. Okay. They put everything in their mouth.
Everything in their mouth.
Some of them reach in there, play in their
This
diaper.
dumb stuff.
They
Like, why you
do-
licking the gate?
Yes, they do a lot of nasty stuff. And your kid picks up that same stuff that they put in their mouth or wherever, and they may have a snotty nose. Next thing you know, your kid has a snotty nose too.
Yep.
So he was always getting sick. But like he had hand, foot, and mouth. I never even knew there was a such thing as hand, foot, and mouth. You know?
I never knew.
He had like this rash. I'm like, what the is going on? And he had like fever, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I take him to the hospital. Like, he has hand, foot, and mouth. I'm like, excuse me? Like, he has a virus. It has to run its course. You can't do nothing. You can't give him nothing. Just make him as comfortable as possible. Maybe some Tylenol for the, fever or something like that if they have any pain. But
it's common though. It's common.
It's very common. If you have a kid, this is my first go around, so I didn't know nothing about it.
I ain't never had that. My siblings ain't never. I don't know what that was.
Listen, I'm like, mommy. She like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's some 2020 type shit.
Hello.
Sores and shit.
Post COVID, now all of a sudden they got all these diseases out. But yeah, so he was always getting sick, and then too, like with daycare. I feel like his teachers was a little like his first set of teachers before he turned 1. Because remember, he started at 11 months. They were older. They were like wonderful ladies. Oh my God, they were wonderful. Like they were able to nurture him. Like one of them old people that nurture. You know what I mean? They was one of them, and it just was like they were so comforting. That like them doing so was so comforting to me. It was like. I loved it. Now, granted, he definitely did cry when I dropped him off, but of course, because he's been with me and like my family his whole life. So now it's like, you leaving with these strangers? So he would cry, but like they would make it scream. Like, is they killing you? But we're gonna get into that. But like, they made me feel so comfortable with leaving him with them that it was just like, all right, like I understand why you're crying, but I do know that like it'll get better throughout the day. They used to send me pictures of him smiling and stuff, so I was like comforted. Once he turned 1 and he went to like the 1-year-old, the young toddler class. Oh baby, it was young girls in there, a bunch of fucking attitudes and a bunch of like just not personable. Like you will walk in the morning, they don't say good morning, they don't say hey, how you doing.
They ain't none of that. They ain't learn that manners at.
How? And you got my son.
They didn't learn
that. Don't
yet.
work. Well, that don't sit well with me. If I'm asking any questions, it's like y'all real short. It's like, bitch, do you want to be here? This might not be the profession for you.
And that's all over. That's everywhere you go. Some people are just
Customer
in the wrong
service
professions. They should have been at Chick-fil-A.
Figure it out.
All you gotta do is say hi. You make nice money there. But don't.
You can go do DoorDash. You ain't even gotta come in contact with nobody.
It is a tough job. Now I'm going to say on the flip side, not to cut you off, Boop. It's tough.
I understand. Kids are fucking overwhelming.
But if it's not in you,
don't pick up the job. You can't work at a daycare just to get a check. You have to actually like children.
You have to love them.
You have to love children because you're going to be tested. Yes.
You get the tantrums.
You got to have strong, patient, thick skin because you dealing with kids. And then on top of that, somebody else's kids.
You have to understand kids because you have to understand that if they're falling out, they're doing this. They're doing it because you should have something that you like, oh, you can't
what
communicate what you
right,
want.
Exactly.
Be, I'm frustrated. Right. It can become overwhelming because you got this kid, this kid. And that comes with how you're running your daycare.
Yes. Like, y'all understand, then yeah.
Y'all have to get that under
control.
Crazy. Yeah, because of course everything is going to. That's what comes a lot too with how they're running it, and the back end of it. But
yeah, but baby, they was very unpersonable, and it was just like, yes,
and Kobe's so nice. It's just like, how
so
could
nice
you
and
be
sweet.
Like
no,
that?
I don't think that they was being mean to him, but it still was like, as my child, that's my child, as a parent, and I can't communicate you. You don't make me feel comfortable. I can't like say, oh well, what happened? And you real short. It's like, bitch, you gonna make me fuck you up for real, because this my baby. At the end of the day, this ain't like just like I'm dropping my dog off at daddy daycare. And don't
Let
come
them
for me,
cuddle.
dog moms or dog
Oh, you know they
dads.
don't play with their dogs.
Yeah,
They hurt
that's fine.
kids,
I
cat.
get it. But like this is a actual human being that I birthed, carried inside of my body, birthed out, that I'm dropping and leaving in your care, hoping and praying that everything goes well because he don't talk. So he can't say, Mommy, I don't like it here.
That's the
He,
scary part.
you know what I mean?
That's so scary.
Very much
You just gotta
scary.
go over your motherly
Very much
instincts to be happy or
scary.
not.
Then he was getting diaper rash. And I'm like, how long are y'all leaving the Pampers on where he's getting diaper rashes? He was having like blowouts. Like every time you would send him, he would come home with like the change of clothes because he had a blowout. And I'm like, well, he don't drink milk, like dairy milk. Like he don't drink that. So if I'm telling you to don't give it to him, don't fucking give it to him.
You think they was giving it to him?
I know they was because he was having blowouts.
Wow.
What else would be making him blow out like that?
They could have been giving some crappy food.
That too, but I know it was the milk because when he would eat yogurt, like dairy, anything dairy, he would have a blowout because he come from booby milk, so it's different. So it was like, just don't give him no milk, just give him some water until I get there.
I'll go off.
But so then big when you ask them, well, I know it's y'all giving him milk because why he having blowout? No, he wasn't giving him any milk.
They ain't feel like woman that breast milk out there.
Bitch, why is he having a blowout then if you're not giving him no milk? Stop playing. Stop lying. You don't want to admit it because it's like, some parents do be turning up and it's like, oh God, I don't feel like that. You could tell me. You could talk to me. We can have a conversation. Like, but don't play with me in my face about my kid because then it's going to be a problem. Like,
and that also goes to you being in the right field because you have to understand that parents are upset, because we don't know we haven't been around our child in 8 hours. We want, or however hours, 5, whatever.
Right.
We want to know how our child was. We want to know why this and why that. You should understand.
Yeah.
You should have all the understanding in the world.
Why they want to know
in
that.
the trainings. They
I'm
teach
sure.
in the trainings, about parents and stuff and culture and all that, and getting them have that dialogue with the parents too, because it all matters. It all comes into caring for that child because that's where they live at, that's where they at, and that's how it is. But it's just like you have to understand, if a mom come in upset, that's her baby. She's upset for a reason. She ain't upset because he clean.
It ain't personal.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at you and just like, yeah, you know what? I think that's the girl I want to go off on. No, it's not personal, boo. It's about my child, my son.
Especially the first time moms, we go off,
baby. We go off. Listen, because my aunt used to be like, well, that's how it happens. And
I be tripping.
I ain't trying to hear none of that.
I look back at how I was, and I be like, I was so angry. And I'm gonna be like that with my next son too.
Always. If I have like, I'm always going to advocate for my baby. And then what was the last straw for me is he had like a stomach bug. And he was like throwing up diarrhea like crazy. Like we was in the hospital overnight. They put an IV in my baby arm. That was it. I said, he not going back there.
Yep. And that's just and y'all not wiping down. Ooh,
y'all not cleaning. Y'all not cleaning. Like it's one thing to understand that like, yeah, you going to get kids going to get sick. But for it to be a constant thing, that means y'all not cleaning right. They living on the surfaces.
Y'all not wiping down.
Y'all not. Y'all not doing no deep
cleaning. And y'all not probably sending the sick kids home before they y'all not sending the
sick kids home. Y'all not saying, hey, that we had a kid that had whatever. So, we sent him home. But if y'all want to keep your baby home for a day or two, whatever, that's fine. They had no deep cleaning. They didn't have a company that came in on a weekly basis to disinfect everything. They were doing it. Y'all done watch these babies all day. Now you think you gonna give a good job cleaning? You ready to go to fuck home?
But they could. But my thing is, why wouldn't you want to clean up? Because you can get sick too. You can get sick too. You want to get sick,
baby?
Just as sick as the kids.
That was the last straw for me. So I took him out of there. So yes, I did have to take him out.
Was it a big daycare?
Yes,
that's for her too. Yeah, I like a little homey base.
It was like a known base place program, and they had childcare. And
it goes like that with big corporations like that.
Yes, a lot of stuff fall under the radar because they're such a big corporation that you just expect like,
and them kids
that's great there. Come and go.
Just a filler.
Baby, Kobe has gone because we wasn't there.
Not with this one.
The diaper rash that he got from like pooping so much because it was so wet. Like it wasn't solid at all. It was just like so wet.
Diarrhea. Poor baby.
Oh my God. He used to be screaming. He was screaming when we would have to wipe him down. He was in back to back because the fluids that they put in him was pushing everything out. Girl, I was ready to go up there and set that on fire. Me and his dad. His dad was like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna bitches up, you know.
I can't,
Listen,
girl. I don't tell certain stuff. I don't tell him because he be just tripping. And certain stuff he see, I be
listen.
like, I'm mad that you even seen it because you want to talk about it. He always got this crazy ass theory, like,
The
girl, I'm not
worst
even
of
gonna
the
get into it.
worst.
Or I'm just
No, for
like,
real. I
I feel like I'm
understand.
a lot when I'm feel like you want to hear my mouth or you want to see me in action. It's a lot, but him for
That's how
somebody.
I feel
That's why
too.
I said for somebody who ain't around all the time, he'll come in the midst of a storm and be
And
ready
shut
to shut
down.
the show
Listen,
down for
coming like a
this.
tornado and destroy
And they
everything
be
about
like,
the
"Come on!" And
baby.
they, well, who? I didn't, we didn't even know he had a dad. He do.
No,
He's in the shadows,
listen,
but when he come out, you gonna be like, "I wish he was in the
listen. When
shadows."
anything go left, best
I be
believe.
wishing he be still in the shadows. I be just like, girl.
Listen, it'd be almost embarrassing, but it'd be like,
Yes, it'd be
it's
like
for my
needed. Yeah,
baby.
it'd be
So
needed.
go ahead.
It'd
Go
be
ahead,
needed,
Dad.
but it'd be like,
Show them we ain't the ones to play with, Dad.
wow. And he got this thing with, and he got this day got this thing with kissing. And everybody loves he like he always kissing. He be like kissing him. He and washing his face and he all this. He's like, don't be. I'm just like, oh my gosh. He makes everything so awkward. Like he just
Oh my God, that sounds like Kobe there
he
so bad.
just been more. Even in the hospital. Did he stay with you in the hospital? In the hospital, I was like, oh my god. I want him to. I want somebody to stay. Him and my mom rotated basically. But with days with you here, it was just like he just was so irritable. Like the lady came in, flicked the lights on. Oh, you get your I'm
Yes.
tired of her. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Oh my
please, they're gonna
God,
hear you.
he
They're
sound
gonna hear you
like
outside. They're gonna
Kobe
kick you out.
dead.
He just was so like, oh, y'all ain't taking my kids. Go get them circumcised. I want to see. They like, well, we don't bring anybody back here. Well, I'm gonna watch the window. I'm just like,
That sounds so much like
it's
Kobe
just
dad. I
like,
swear to God.
ugh,
Cause
it's
then Kobe had
cringe because you can't
jaundice,
even
so they
say
had him
nothing.
in the little light thing, and he's be like, "Yo, we just got him sleep. Don't then you put something on the door that tell him don't." Like it was so
But they doing
bad.
their job. They doing their job. Cause I'm at the
Listen,
hospital too. They doing their
my mom
job.
came up and she was eating some chips or something, and then she went to go pick it up and he like, "Mom, you got that sauce on your hands." It's my from the
Yo,
chips. His
you
mom
know
came to
what?
come up and she had like maybe probably some perfume that she put on in the morning.
Oh
You
my
got
god.
something on you. You smell like you got something on you.
Oh, he
I'm
wasn't that
like,
bad. He wasn't that bad.
yo,
He was drooling, but he
girl.
wasn't that bad though.
He and to this day he's still the same way. That's how I behave and go up, be ready to go upside his head
Wow.
sometimes. He'd be like, nigga, the way
Damn.
that you act, you need to be getting him on a week to week basis.
Okay, you
They
wasn't
have all
that.
these demands.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. The entire
Get this nigga.
listen, get them then. Rock out with your best friend. That's why when they get older, they gonna work out. But
Yep. Mm-hmm.
it's at our expense right now. All right,
For
let's move
sure.
on.
All
Let's
right.
move
All right.
on.
All right. So yeah, did you have mom guilt for putting your kid in childcare and daycare?
Nope, I needed that balance.
Period,
Kicked them
boo.
out. Boop bop. I did
Period.
about it. It did, but that's when my turning point was like, you know what, life is different because I always been like I never wanted to put my son in daycare. I always would just do everything, be home with him and stuff like that, work at night or whatever the case may be. But it was just like I gotta put him in there because I need this balance. So it was like a learning thing. But I
Yeah.
didn't have guilt. And when I went back to work,
Mm-hmm.
it was something different. I
Okay.
felt I did not want to go back to work. I did not. I don't think I've even told nobody, but I had times where I just was like, I'm gonna just leave. He was
Yeah.
tripping with him anyway. It was too much for him. I just want to come home and stay with my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, did you?
I did. Because I was one of them women too that just be like, I'm not putting my son in daycare not until he can talk. Like that was my whole thing. You got to be
Yep.
able to talk to tell me like, Mom, I don't like this, or
Mhm.
I don't like, you know what I mean.
I said the
Before I
same
want to
thing.
send you away to somebody, because
Like that.
you can't trust people out here. People is
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. But I had to go to work,
Mm-hmm.
so I had no choice but to put him in daycare, and then leaving him near and him crying when it's time to go, that really crushed me. I used to really be driving like, I think I'm gonna just have to quit. Like I'm gonna have to quit work because I can't leave him there. But it was
Because I
like,
be thinking this
girl.
now, though. I be just like, not for that. But I'll talk about it later. But I just be like, man, I gotta figure something else out because I want to be with my baby.
So that's kind of how it was. Okay, so with me too, going to work, my schedule was 9:30 to 6. So I would drop him off in the morning, and then he had to be to school before like 8:15 or something like that. So I had to get him there by 8 o'clock. And then, or was it 9? It was like 8 or 9. I think it was 8, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been 9, but whatever the time was. I had to get him there by that time. And then all day he's at school. I couldn't even pick him up because the daycare closed at 5:30. Oh no, the daycare closed. That daycare closed at 6. His new daycare used to close at 5:30, but that daycare closed at 6. But I still wouldn't have the time to drive over there and get him. I just getting off, clocking out at 6. So somebody always had to get him. His dad used to always get him, and they would go to like the YMCA gym and like play around. And I would go pick them up because I was right around the corner. Pick them up, and then we would go home. And now it's like 6:30, almost 7 o'clock. That's eat, bath, bed.
Every day.
That's it.
I feel guilty when I don't hit the times. I be like, dang, missed it. Dang, I sometimes I be like, listen, I like
not now because I'm not working. If I was working, it would probably be different.
Right,
I'm not
working.
So I don't be caring.
I be trying to make the time like, because I want you to sleep by this time.
I do want you to sleep.
I want you to sleep. I had enough.
Because I need stuff that I need to do without you. So that was definitely a guilt trip for me because it was just like I always used to feel like I don't have no time with him, and he's so young, and I'm missing his first.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the first moments of this, the first moments of that you're never going to get back, and I just used to always feel like so shitty about it.
But you probably saw a lot of his first for
Of course.
Only thing I don't think I missed anything, honestly. Because he started walking at 10 months before he went sitting up, eating his first food. I did a lot of first.
I missed him walking.
Really? Shut up.
I was at work. He was in the house with my mom and my dad.
Wow,
and
me and my mom was there.
He walked from my mom to my dad, and she sent me a video. But he was already standing and like trying to take a little step, but he wasn't really like taking the actual step.
Oh, I would have been.
And then he did, and after he started going to daycare too, because I feel like he seen the other kids walking, he probably was like, oh, I could do that. But he did it with my mom and my dad. My mom sent me a video, and then I came home, and of course I'm like, come on, let's do it, let's do it.
He ain't ready. He didn't want to walk.
No, he did it. He did it. Oh, he was ready. Once he started walking, he started walking. Yeah. But it was still like that was his first moment of that, and I missed it. And it was just like, oh my God. But like mostly everything else, I was there around.
Yeah, I was there for everything.
I definitely had
the best time of my life was being home his first 3 months. I had to go to work at 3 months. It was horrible. But his first little months, I was there for everything. And I just was like, I loved it. But I was like, I actually was ready to go to work. But then I went to work, and after probably a month, I was just like, I don't want to be here. I want to be my baby. It was just all about balance, like finding that balance. Because like you want to break, but the break, I realize now, it's not work.
It's not work. It's me being able to do what I need to do on my own time. It's not work.
I'm going to work. It's my break, but it's just like,
yes. No, I don't want to go to work. Yeah, that's not the break that I'm looking for.
We got to get rich or die trying to, because we got to be home with these.
Hey, we're looking for some sponsor deals. You know, if anyone wants to sponsor the podcast, come send us the contract. Let's see what we can do.
Send it right over to the
Ciao. We need to get rich because the clocking in is not it. It's not it. Okay, so so pros and cons of daycare.
Pros is my balance, and the cons I feel like is just I have no more cons because I looked up and his daycare is actually family based.
I love that. I love that for y'all.
And I got to see, and we know the people prior to being there, so I don't have no cons now. No cons at all. Only con is that he can't stay there till 9 o'clock. They can't put him to bed. No, I'm just joking. No, I have no cons at all. I can't complain. It's love. It's good energy. It's everything. That. I get updates, and it's like it's family. So it's genuine love. They love this little boy to the point where they don't even give me like reports no more. To it's like I had like, you know, the men are different. So it's like like the little guy that little guy. You know, the people who, the men who work there, who might drive the van and stuff like that, they might come and be like, you know, Eli in here. They told me my baby's running down. They said, your baby in there running down on kids. I said, don't say that. No, he does not. He's a baby. But he's still doing it. But it's like, you don't even get that in report no more. I'll be like, yo, he's still hitting and stuff. He is all right. So they give so much grace and modest because they genuinely love him. So it's just like, you know, it ain't like, you know, you just fed up and you tired. Like, he ain't here doing this and running down and all that. You don't get that.
I love that. Yeah.
I love it.
My pros, because he got a new daycare now, of course. They like that. They're very much smaller. They have like 2 levels, one for the little kids, one for the smaller kids. But like the level is in the basement, so it's still like a small facility, and it's just like they're so like, hey, good morning, hey everyone.
Cheerful. How was
very
your
welcoming.
How was your
yes, very welcoming. It make you feel good that like you dropping your kid off. And Kobe don't cry, you don't fuss. He walk right in.
He don't even
they
cry
got
no
a plethora of stuff that they can do. They sit down and eat. They do activities. Like, I love the new daycare. When a kid is sick, they come get them. You gonna have to come and get them,
That's us too.
okay?
Yep.
You gotta come get them. So
Yeah.
and I love that they get to socialize and stuff like that. I feel like
Mhm.
kids learn faster when they're around their other peers and stuff like that.
Eli
So that's
still ate the same. He
the
be tearing
pros. The
shit
cons is
down.
definitely the sickness. Your kid gonna be sick at daycare.
Yeah,
That's
they
just what
are.
it is. So be prepared. Give them some vitamins. Have some ibuprofen or some baby Tylenol on deck,
Mhm.
and just be okay with that.
I do want to say this. I want to go into this one little thing before we do blessings in
Mhm.
disguise, the villages. Everybody always say, you guys support, and all. I have my mom. My mom comes through a lot, or my nieces here and there. But at the end of the day, the bulk is on me.
Yes.
And I don't like for people who may not have no support or no to little support.
Right.
Like, because unless you just have no family, you in Philly or whatever state,
It's
you have no
literally
family at all,
just
that's no
you
support.
and the baby.
And which is
That's no
never that.
support.
I don't care if
Right.
you get one break, you still have some type of support. I don't like that females, not females, but like mom's like, oh, at least you have this. At least it's not. Oh, at least I still have. I'm getting breaks
That's
for
my
work.
child.
I'm getting breaks for work, and I'm not going to send them anywhere. So don't tell me, you have, this and that and that, or like you should be grateful that you have this. You can have just as much help because it's something called sitters.com,
Mhm.
but you don't either want to send your son or your daughter to any place. So I'm the same way.
Exactly.
So the villages is not villaging the same. I do the
Yes.
bulk of everything.
Talk about it, mama.
I do the bulk of everything. So
Mhm.
it's just like, I feel like the village, you have to create your village.
Yes.
So I'm creating mine now. And it's, I just have my close people, who could be one of myself. But it's not the same where he can go outside and just any neighbors and all that, because I don't, we don't trust as many people. So it's not the same. And the support that I have, majority of it comes with a price. You know what I'm saying? It's a small part.
You can't call nobody and be like, hey, yo, I need a break. And then like everybody
right
storm
now.
in
You
and be
can't call
like,
nobody.
all right, listen, you go ahead and take a 3-hour nap, or you go ahead and take it. I'm going to make y'all some dinner. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to take him over. Like, it don't be like that. So
you don't have that no more. This is
if
not my
somebody
mom
say that they don't have it
day.
like that, then they don't have it like that. Don't make it a thing. Like,
yeah, like,
okay.
oh, you at least you can call your mom right now.
Don't make it a
my
thing.
mom in jail. Okay, but your dad's not.
Okay.
And your baby dad's not. So it's just like we all have our own different type of struggle when it comes to support.
Yes, don't make it a thing.
We all can use more support. That's all I want to say about that.
Okay, blessing in disguise.
Yes. Blessing in disguise is that I did find a good daycare, and it's homey base. It's family. They love him. I feel comfortable dropping him off. It's nothing but good vibes, a good report. They send me pictures of him doing stuff, and he loves it there. It was starting off rocky. He was crying and screaming, but now he let my hand go when he walk up in there, and he don't kiss. He on with his teacher and his family basically. So and then that's it. So that's my blessing in disguise. I love it.
Yes, I'm blessing in disguise also is understanding that, like, okay, maybe this situation didn't work out, but not all situations are the same. So you may have had to experience this to learn that, like, that wasn't for you. But at the end of the day, there is stuff out here that, like, you can still keep the faith, keep the hope that, like, you can find a facility where they do what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Just
and I did find that after I left the YMCA. Yeah. So okay. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers to another good episode. We didn't hit the 5 for it.
I'm cracking up.